So we've been setting out some mineral stones for the moose and the deer and the other animals, so that the animals are nice and healthy before the hunt, or just year round they're nice and healthy. Before, I think it was just the leader of the hunting team that did all the mineral stones, and last year we and another neighbor, another new member of the hunting team, we went along with him to help and for him to show us where all of them were. So this year we divided the mineral stones so that we do 3, a neighbor does 3, and the hunting leader, our other neighbor, he does 3 or 4, so then we have all of them, and it's not so much work because this one was quite close to the road, so it's not such a big effort. But there are a few that are like a few minutes or maybe 10 minutes walk from the road through swampy, boggy terrain, and then one of those mineral stones weighs 10 or 12 kilos maybe, so it's good if you don't have to do all of them, even though there's not really a rush. You just want to kind of get it done before summer, I suppose. But now it's nice. It's just a good reason to go out into the forest with the dogs and walk to a certain place where you might not normally walk. So now I did my 3. So the previous stones were quite empty, or you can see that they were being used. So it's good that there are new ones now, so that all the animals, moose, the deer, all the smaller animals as well, get some minerals, and they're all placed near water, so they can drink some water, lick some minerals, and then it keeps them nice and healthy. We've just got back from a trip to the Netherlands to visit friends and family, and we also had a wedding. So that was nice, but quite exhausting. It's Midsummer's Eve now, so it was very nice coming home to this field of flowers, and it was amazing how much things have grown in the 2 and a bit weeks that we've been gone. Besides that, nothing much has been happening. We've been mostly waiting for things like the other door, the kitchen. We've spoken with some people about a kitchen. They've made some drawings, but it's taken a bit longer than we thought, and we're going to have to go back, and I'm not even sure if it's all going to fit within our budget, but we'll see. Once that's a bit more clear, I can share a bit more about that as well. And I've mowed this field, or I don't mow this field, but a little path in the field right before we left, so 2.5 weeks ago, and it's about necessary again, but I'll just take the weekend to relax a bit, and then I'll get back to some of the chores, like mowing this path, and I also have another path on the other side of the road that I like to maintain, so we can easily walk without the dogs getting too much ticks. So that's one thing, and I've also started a project for something for me to do inside the house, sitting behind my desk. Started a little web development company to see if some of the local businesses, clubs, etc. are in need of some websites. I can help them with that, and that gives me a good excuse to sit indoors for a little bit, so I can have some variety with manual labor and desk labor. And I've been working on a quote, an offer for a potential first client, so that's exciting, but that also means that I'm, depending on how well that goes, I might put some more time into that, since I wouldn't say the projects are winding down, but the finances are dwindling. So that is to say, we had some savings from the sale of our house. We've been using that for the renovations, but that's nearing its end. And when we get to a kitchen that's within our budget, that's about it. So that does mean we're going to have to take it easy for a while, until we get some more money in to do some more projects. I might be able to do some smaller projects or some upcycling or some projects that don't require as much materials or external labor. So we'll see.
God midsommar.
Trevlig midsommar. So I'm going to call it for today. I mowed this bit and a lot more in the near the house, but it's getting quite bad with the horse flies, and normally it's midges and mosquitoes, but horse flies are nearly as bad, with their bites hurting a lot more and them just being annoying. But I just wanted to quickly address some things that I foresee coming in the comments, or otherwise some things people might be thinking, because there's lots of no mow proponents, which I am also, as you can see, as this we don't mow our pasture at all, basically, but yeah, just to keep it accessible for us and for the dogs, without it being too much work to walk through, which you then won't do, and also to limit the amounts of ticks, etc. I do mow around the house. Horsefly in my ear. I do mow around the house and the paths that we often take. So this is one, because this is a path that leads from the house, our back garden, and then to our forest and to the road behind, which we use for walks and cycling and stuff. So then at least there's an easy way to get there. And around the house, it's just so we can toss the ball with the dogs, and also to limit the amounts of mosquitoes and midges, which doesn't really work, but it's mainly the first reason. So that's it for today. We do have a robot mower, but it's still about 3.5 hours work-ish with this mower to mow the bits that he can't do or doesn't reach, and then it's probably another 2 hours with the weed whacker to do the rest, which I'll do tomorrow, because I've kind of had enough of these insects, and I guess they're just letting me know that they don't really like me mowing their home, which I understand. and I don't know where Hank is, but Loki is here with me, and it's just great to have the dogs tag along with everything we do, especially with this great weather. So anytime we go outside to do something, even if it's just getting something in the barn, they can come along. And then for their regular walks, about 4 times a day, we toss the ball, and that way they get plenty of exercise. We feed them like on the dog food. There's usually recommended amounts to feed your dog, and what we feed them is for dogs of 40 kilos, even though they only weigh 25 to 30 kilos, and then we feed them even 20% more than that recommended amount, and we add salmon oil to their food, so they get lots of food, but as you can see, they're in great shape. So I do think those recommended amounts on the dog food packets are on the modest amount, because they assume you spoil them with other stuff, which we do with the occasional daily bit of cheese and the like. Like when I have not a bad day, but a lesser day, and then I go out and I see how happy the dogs are just playing in the grass, chasing after the ball, or rolling in the grass, or just being derps the whole day. It just makes me so happy to live here, and yeah, just grateful that we found this place and made all the decisions that led us here. So I think that's a great joy about having dogs, and I guess pets, because they're just so innocent and stress-free, especially dogs. They're just, if they're allowed to be around you, they're just happy. Food, water, shelter, some exercise, and mainly being with their humans is what makes them happy. Just rolling in the grass. Yeah. So despite the hard work and the bugs, this has been a great afternoon. So now I'm going to find some shelter from the bugs and see where Hank is. I'm not wearing a fancy microphone. This is an anti-midges and mosquito thing. I wanted to talk a bit about some things that have been happening kind of behind the scenes that I can't show any physical results of at all or yet. And that also kind of explains, I guess, why there's not as much content. Well, the first thing that I think I already talked about and showed in some previous videos is the kitchen. So we kind of wanted to renovate or get a new kitchen, so we started on that already with the wood stove, with the oven and the new kitchen fan, and I also made some drawings of the kitchen, first in SketchUp, just to get some of the measurements and the ideas, and then a few months ago also in the drawing tool of IKEA to get more of an idea about colors, furniture, and also a price point. And then we got a suggestion from a friend that there's a local carpentry business that can do custom-made kitchens with a price that's not a whole lot more than IKEA, because our kitchen is a bit of an awkward size. So with the standard sizes of IKEA, I couldn't really figure out a good layout. So we had a talk there, got some drawings and got a quote for the price as well. And that was quite shocking and a bit too much. So now we have postponed the whole kitchen idea for a bit while we, I guess, get to terms with and think about, okay, do we indeed want to go for an IKEA kitchen then? Or do we maybe want to save up a bit more, go for more custom built kitchen, or do I want to build the kitchen myself? So there are pros and cons with everything. IKEA kitchen is quite standard, but it's quite affordable. Custom built kitchen is a bit more fancy, just the way you like it, but more expensive. And then if I build it myself, I don't have much experience with building kitchen cabinets, countertops, all that stuff, so it's probably going to take quite a while. Still going to cost quite a lot in materials, so I'm not a big fan of that, but as said, we'll postpone that decision for now. Another thing is we've been looking at holiday homes for my mother, who after the previous time she was here decided that it would be very nice to have a holiday home close to where we are, to come to visit us, but also to be able to rent it out as a kind of an extra source of income, and with the idea that I then would take care of maintenance and welcoming guests, etc. So that sounds quite exciting, and we found one that is potentially something, and we're currently in the progress of bidding and negotiation with the realtor. So that's also something that's been going on. Another thing that's been going on is I started a new company. The idea is mainly to get it going now, and then in the winter to put a bit more effort into it, because in the winter I won't be able to do as much renovations, so then I might focus a bit more on getting some clients and being able to do some office work. So what I've been doing is just making the website, thinking of price points, thinking of contracts, etc., that I might need for that. So that's been going on as well, taking up some of my time. And with the kitchen being postponed, we now decided to build a sauna. That's why I'm standing here in this place, because initially we thought maybe the sauna would be a bit more over there on the edge of the forest, in place of one of the older cabins, storage spaces that's over there. But then we decided that this is actually the best spot, because it's quite high up, it's close to the house, as you can see, and it has kind of a nice view over the neighboring forest, and there's more space here, so we're not constrained in terms of size as much. So I've to kind of wrap my head around what's needed, I made some drawings in SketchUp, kind of like how big is it going to be, etc., so that I know like the space here, if that's going to work. And it seems like it's not much bigger. It's a bit bigger than this, but not much bigger. And I'll show you the drawings now. So I made some drawings, starting with some foundation blocks. Some concrete foundation is what I was thinking, because the ground is quite uneven, so I could make it level. Then, depending on materials, some thicker beams, and then a floor. By the way, the orientation is the house is over here, and then the barn is over there. So the idea was to have kind of a small porch area here, a small dressing room area, and then the actual sauna with a few, let's see, am I doing this correct? Yeah, the house is over there. Yeah, okay. And then a window with a view over the forest. Not our forest, but the recently cleared forest. And the idea for the inside is to have either alder or aspen. I've seen that recommended. And to have the floor be a non-insulated floor, so that the most of the ventilation is going to come up through the floor, and then have a ventilation hole for the outgoing air
somewhere else. That also depends on the stove that we're going to buy. Yeah, it would be about 210 high, so I can easily stand, and then 225 by 225, so I can also lay down. Yeah, so I didn't draw the roof yet, and I didn't draw in the benches and the stove, because I think this is far enough to get started. So that's about as far as I got, and that gives at least a good indication of what sizes we needed. So the size is 435 long in total, with the sauna being about 250, 240 in total with the exterior walls, and then the width is going to be about 250 as well. So that means that the inside is I think about 225 by 225 in terms of the sauna, and then the dressing room is about a meter wide and also 225, and the porch area is about 70 centimeter. That's just for, I don't know, taking off your shoes, maybe storing a little bit of firewood under the roof.
So as you saw from the drawings, it's maybe a bit higher than this, maybe slightly wider, slightly longer, but not much more. And I'm going to try to take a bit of an incremental approach. In a former life before I moved to Sweden, I was project manager-ish in software development, and there we took a what's called agile approach. So don't spend so much time on preparation, just get going and adjust every few weeks. So that's my idea here as well, because I've not built a sauna before. I can make a whole plan, but then I can find out after a few days that it's totally wrong and I'll have to adjust. So my idea is just to start with, of course, clearing out this, tearing this down, seeing what the ground is like. If it's soil, then like I want to pour some concrete pillars for the foundation. If it's stone, which it most likely is, as you can see here, there's just stone, then I have to think of something else, maybe use the same method of just taking some stones or taking some hard material, putting them on the stone, maybe with some cement or some other way, make it so that they don't move about too much and that I can influence the height a bit so that this is all going to be level, and then make a floor, and then we'll see from there. Depending on availability and cost of materials, I might have to change some plans. So that's also why I not made the entire plan in SketchUp yet. So that's what's going to be happening over the summer. We're also getting visitors in August and September. It's a bit crap weather, otherwise I would have probably started today with clearing out this and tearing it down, but look forward to that in coming videos. So I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.